Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sheep and Friends podcast. This is the podcast where me and Markeith just pretty
Markeith
much
and
talk
I.
about whatever we want. We're already starting. It is not even 20 seconds in, and we're already starting. That's good. Um, but yeah, so basically on this podcast, we just talk about whatever we want. There's no structure to it. So let's get to it. So me and Markeiths,
Markeith and
we
I.
submitted a couple we submitted a couple videos and stuff to our college, which we won't say, so you don't stalk us. How much did we submit? Like 5 things.
We submitted 2 music videos, 1 documentary, 1 drama comedy, and 1 soundscape. So if I'm correct, about 5 items, and we only got in 1 award, but that is what I like to call clout points.
It sure is. I
Yes.
remember we were so excited.
So, in other
Um,
words, to all of the contestants, congratulations on your awards. To anyone that was hating on me, you could suck my dick. You could
I don't
also,
think anyone was hating on you.
I think,
Who was hating
I think
on
we
you?
had at least 1 hater that I'm not going to mention.
Oh, yes. Well, he's probably not going to see this because he has family business to get to.
Precisely.
Precisely. Ratatouille. For those of you who haven't seen Ratatouille, it's a Brazilian knockoff of Ratatouille. And the voice, like they have an English dub for it or whatever, and the voices are just stupid. I implore all of you to some point in your life watch the cinema gold that is Ratatouille. It is fucking beautiful.
I agree. But yeah,
I concur.
back.
You mean precisely?
But back to the awards. Nah, there were some good ones. There were some iffy ones. There were some so and so's. But overall, for a college film festival, people got their time to shine, and that is very good. I am just glad though that we did not get Jay-Z'd. And for all of my people that are not hip hop heads, it is the well-known fact that Jay-Z and the Grammys, they do not mesh well together. So he may win, he may get a lot of nominations, he may not see no awards. 444 is a really good recent example of that.
Yeah, 444. That was his latest one.
Mm-hmm.
He's due then.
Yeah.
He's very much due. Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
We're
If
gonna
I'm
start
right,
off hip
if
hop
it's
already. All right, let's go.
2017. Wait, yeah, it was 2000. Holy shit, yeah. Well, then again, though, Jay-Z is at a time of his career where he's like, I don't really need to drop music. I already have a fucking shitload of discography.
There was a time in the 2010s where he was releasing a lot, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Like the New York song, like that song's fine, but the whole album was just, I'm not the biggest JC fan, so yeah, I'm just trying to check when was 444. I think you're right. Just want to double check.
Yeah, I mean, if he was I would say I don't want to say the average artist, but if he was the artist that is still young and still in his prime or so, then yes, he is due. But the nigga's a billionaire. He's married to Beyonce. He got kids. He's also.
I mean, what about Eminem?
That nigga done.
Yeah, I
should stop
why
talking.
Why does he keep releasing music?
I should stop talking before I get like a bunch of Eminem fan hate. Then I find out that people are actually listening to our podcast.
I know. Honestly, if we got some dislikes, at least I would know someone cared enough to be like, no, wrong.
Actually,
Oh, we got our likes. All you people just like our videos.
The greatest of our generation, and he is the best rapper of all time. Okay.
Okay. All right. If we're being honest, Slim Shady LP, very good, classic '90s vibe, very edgy. Then we got Marshall Mathers LP, really good, awesome, one of his best. Yes, he wrote Stan. Yes, he did, as he points out in his song Venom, which is a shameless promotional tool for the movie Venom. So, you know, artistic integrity, hooray! And then Eminem Show was good. And then after that, it just kind of everything just started to mush together. And then he was stuck in his staccato flow in Recovery, and he hasn't recovered since. Thank you very much. Good night. Honestly, he's just too, I hate saying this because it does make me sound like a hipster, but he became too mainstream with feature artists and stuff like that. His recent albums have at least one song dedicated to an Ed Sheeran feature. I'm like, why the fuck is Ed Sheeran on an Eminem song?
More importantly, why is he on an album? Wait, he's on the album Murder on My Mind, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he was on what's the bad one that everyone hates that I keep forgetting the name of? Revival? Yeah, Revival. The one where he says, this booty is heavy duty like diarrhea. Good. Good line.
Look here. I will say, as an artist, that there are some times that, you might say a rhyme and it just, at the heat of the moment, it sounds good. It sounds good in your head. But there are just some times where it's just you really have to double check. Just double, even if you're the only one in the room, you have to double check. This is a big reference. This is a big reference towards Logic. Because if you remember in his album, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, this nigga was... Let me find the actual lyric so I can say it for verbatim. But just to paraphrase it a bit, he says something in the lines of, I'll suck a dick to prove a point. And I'm just, wait, what? What?
And then he comes out yeah, I wasn't gay. I was just saying.
Yeah.
Only Biggie can get away with that, really.
But did he really get away with it?
No, not really. Actually, now that
he barely got away with it.
That's why you gotta have a crew with you. That's not just gonna go oh shit, that was the hypest shit I ever heard. You gotta get a crew that'll be hold up, whoa, back up.
Because we
I feel go ahead.
Because Biggie could get away with it right now for the fact that he is Biggie. But if you look at that line back in in the 90s or so, because I do know the reference of the line. It's a Richard Pryor joke that he's referencing.
Mm-hmm.
And if niggas didn't get that back in the 90s, they would just say, oh nah, that nigga gay.
Especially because homophobia in hip hop was prevalent then. It's still, I mean,
oh no!
How do you feel about it, Markeith? Is it? You think it's still prevalent?
Well, to a degree.
Less so, I would say.
Less so because now that we have rappers that really express themselves more, like Lil Uzi Vert, Young Thug, Tyler the Creator. It's
Kevin Abstract, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Abstract. It's really in the line of not
we're
as
finally
much.
To a point where it's okay to rap about being gay and no one's gonna bat an eye, pretty much. Yeah, because even I remember when I first all our podcasts are going to be talking about Brockhampton, but I remember the first time I listened to Star and I heard Kevin's verse and I was like, because I just wasn't used to that, and I was like, and I kept listening, and then I just didn't give a shit after that. Like, it's so easy to get over. I mean, everyone should be allowed to have it first, like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, but like after a while, like, who the fuck cares? And it's a good bar too. Yo, Star is like one of their best songs.
Niggas gay, so it's like shit. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like who cares?
Oh, I found the line.
And its junkie verse is awesome.
Right, I found the Logic.
Oh
line.
yeah, read the Logic.
Okay.
Read me some trash lyrics. Let's go.
So, I'll just start it from the part. I don't do the Breakfast Club because Charlemagne is shameless. That's the only one I leave out when I run my bases. Do your research before you call somebody homophobic. You make a living off of controversies and you know it. I ain't that type of artist. Respect my name and we can talk about it. I suck a dick just to prove it ain't that way. Nigga, what?
Wait, he said the N-word?
Oh, he's bi, so he has a pass.
No. That.
Oh yeah, nah. He is. Come on, man. You haven't been listening to Logic lately?
He's got the whole pass.
Hey, look here. He's been saying it. So.
No, I don't listen to Logic lately. I listen to his new album. I'm like, I'll give this a shot.
Like,
and then
okay,
I go 2 songs in. I'm like, I'm done. Tap out.
Basically, every song after The Incredible True Story, every single song, it has some type of relationship back to, hey, I'm biracial. I'm Logic.
Oh yeah, no, I'm aware of that.
I'm biracial.
I'm more aware of the memes than anything else. It's just he's so stupid. Like the album Everybody, and I always bring this up as case in point. If you're trying to make it take, and I know this is setting the standard high, but take Kendrick Lamar's Pimp a Butterfly. He has a consistent message throughout, and I never really stays off focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Logic makes essentially an anti-suicide bullying album, right? Called Everybody, I believe it is. And he has a song, and in one of the features, Juicy J, in a suicide awareness album, goes, "Kill yourself, motherfucker. Kill your motherfucking self." Granted, it's toward another person, but if your whole message is don't kill yourself, be positive, who can relate? Woo! Like that, leave it out. Like, how did you not think about that?
Because
and I'm gonna say something that Markeith is gonna. I think Markeith is going to disagree with me because he hates this artist. Joyner Lucas had a better.
Let's not talk about
anti-suicide.
Okay.
It's true.
Let's just stop right there, my dude. Let's just stop right there.
I'm turning it to another one of her friends who thinks Joyner Lucas is the greatest. He also thinks Yellow Wolf is like a god, and I'm like, no.
Let's just stop right there, okay? Because if we're talking about suicide songs, okay, I like them both, but I'm gonna give it to Logic because it's melodic. If between the two, I see myself singing that one a little bit more. It's a little catchy. He actually got onto
Sure.
He got onto MTV.
But as far as the message goes, I think Joyner's song is way better.
Look here,
because it goes from the perspective of the guy committing suicide, and then the friend who is like, "Why the fuck did you commit suicide?" Which are both, no one really touches on the side of like people who know someone who committed suicide and the kind of like feelings they go through that. At least it's doing something more complicated. Even though if it doesn't do well, at least it's trying. Logic is just like, yo, you in high school and listen to Linkin Park? Man, I was like that too. Okay, now look at me. I'm biracial. I can say the N-word.
But here's one thing that Joyner Lucas didn't tackle in his suicide song, in the music video at least, that Logic did tackle. Homosexuality, my dude. All right? So, checkmate, okay. Logic.
All right, but
interracial
at the same time, Logic has
homosexuality,
at the
mind you.
Same time, Logic in his suicide song has backup vocals going like, "Man, I just want to kill myself." And then it goes, "Who can relate?" What
Clearly, the other
Tell your hype man
suicide
to
people,
go home. Tell your hype man to go home. This is not the time. This is not the place.
Well, joke's
Tell
on
him to
you.
go
He's
home.
the hype man.
He is the hype man. He's got to shut himself up. It's like Supermarket was trash too.
I have not. I have not listened to Supermarket, but I think I listened to like the first minute of it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't need to watch this.
I think I'm all right. What was the book about anyway? It was like some stalker in a supermarket, or like some chick that works in a supermarket, something like that.
I can't even tell you. I gave up halfway through. He was kind of trying to do like the because of the internet Childish Gambino, but
Oh, that's funny.
failing miserably, which Fantano doesn't like because of the internet. I don't understand that. Fantano confuses me sometimes.
Yeah, we can discuss that later because I'm just thinking too, like how I'm wondering how like Childish Gambino thinks about it on this part, because he was only on one song with Logic on Driving Miss Daisy on Under Pressure, which is I think that's a good song.
Oh yeah.
This is like pre corny Logic, and now like I feel as though like Logic's been like trying to hit up Childish Gambino for features now, and Childish Gambino's like, yeah, man, that's really cool.
Nah.
Nah.
I'm on my artistic shit.
Nah, Childish Gambino is the type of person like he'll let you down with like, but just very cool, and you'll still respect him for it. You know, that's really cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just I'm actually working on Atlanta, but you know,
Atlanta's a great show.
Mm-hmm. But
love Atlanta.
But Childish, Atlanta isn't coming out this year. Yeah, you know, I'm still working on it. Yeah, I got another album I'm working on, but you just dropped another one.
Also, I gotta love how if you go back to interviews, so he was Lando Calrissian in the Solo movie.
Yeah.
And in all the interviews after This Is America came out, literally, they were like, all right, fuck Star Wars. What the fuck is up with this music video? Like, literally, and he's like, man, it's just about everything, bro. Like, can we talk about the movie? And they're like, all right, but that music video, though.
And then he just, like, straight up tells people, I'm not telling you. That's up to you.
That's probably, I mean, just from a pop culture standpoint, that's probably his best song. Not my personal favorite. That's probably the one he's going to be remembered for the most, I would say.
It's not even his best song. It's
right.
If anything,
that's what I'm saying.
It's more of how should I put this? It's really more of just a message, because there's really not that much lyrical, not much lyrical substance in the message. It's just more like he's just saying the same things. Like there's more of a powerful message in the music video than there is like in the lyrics itself. Like this
in the lyrics,
This Is America,
and the song itself, it takes out the gunshot,
mm-hmm.
you know, in the beginning that like starts, that changes up the beat. Like it's just completely removed.
Right.
So I think I think you're right. It's more so the music video that has the impact.
Yeah, I remember one of the YouTube music reviewers I listened to, Sean C. He said it best. Whereas like, if you just take This Is America with the song itself, there's really nothing like to it. But if you add the song and the music video together, then it's a masterpiece in a way.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I could see that. I'm blanking out. So I have a little rant I want to go on, which I already kind of told you about.
By all means.
So I recently watched a documentary called "The Problem with Alpool." If you're not sure who Alpool is, he's the Indian character in or South Asian character in The Simpsons, and in recent years he's come under heavy fire under the mass media because they view him as a generic stereotype. Which, if you've never actually watched The Simpsons, like if you weren't a big fan, I could see where you're coming from, right? Like, you know, it's just all the main stuff is thank you, come again, you know. So just seeing it at face value, it seems like that. But there's kind of two factors you gotta put into it, right? First factor is that The Simpsons, much like South Park, makes fun of everyone. They make fun of liberals, they make fun of rednecks, they make fun of black people, Asian Americans, whatever. It's a melting pot. If you've seen the Simpsons cast, just look up all Simpson characters, and it's a representation of all races of every kind. The second factor is, I feel like the documentary, it's kind of like a Michael Moore, where it's you're following the documentarian. And his point of view of Apu, because he is an Indian American, is that he is a racial stereotype. That is true, but so is every other Simpson or every other character in The Simpsons. Like Homer is your generic white dad who drinks beer.
White trash dad.
Bart is your average troubled boy. Yeah, exactly. You have white trash in there too. And
maybe just middle class trash. How about that?
Yeah, he's like a suburbs family type, you know. Mm-hmm. And the Simpsons make fun of Christians, you know, Ned Flanders. So if they just targeted Apu, he would have a point. But the Simpsons always treated Apu as like, the family itself always treated him as a friend. They never treated him any differently. And he's actually one of the smartest characters in The Simpsons. Like, he's constantly the voice of logic, basically. No relation to the rapper.
Oh, what's that? He's voiced by Logic? Apu?
No.
Wait, holy shit.
But,
his last name is so fucking long.
Yeah.
Nahasapima Pitil. So,
it's something like that. It's making fun of, you know,
wait,
names like that.
Can you just imagine Logic voicing Apu? Hey, yo, Homer, how you doing today? You know I'm biracial, right? But not the biracial that you think of. Cause I'm from India, and I'm also from China. Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? You thought biracial was just blacks and whites. Nah, we ain't like that. Thank you. Come again. What up?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because the other huge controversy that the film almost narrowed down to is that Apu is voiced by a white guy.
Yes.
And it's...
Do they discuss that a lot?
Right? Yes. In fact, the documentary, it narrows down to like, you know, like, hey, is this right? Or whatever. But you got to understand that, like, that's not the only voice he does. He does multiple voices and stuff. And voice acting is the only acting that cares nothing about your physical appearance. Like, Timmy Turner, voiced by Tara Strong, a woman. Bart Simpson, voiced by a girl. You know, it does not matter what you look like as long as you sound like it. That's where, you know, that's where you're hired or you're not. And the documentary portrays Apu like just a generic stereotype, but like, he's much more than that if you've actually watched The Simpsons, which I'm not going to say that the filmmaker hasn't watched The Simpsons. In fact, he says that he's a fan of The Simpsons, but he's just trying to make it, you know, as Apu is this evil figure that hangs over Indian people. And that's just not... I mean, listen, if you've been bullied, if you're South Asian American, or if you're Indian American and you've been bullied by being called out pool, I sincerely feel bad for you. That being said, it's not Apu's fault that you're being bullied. It's the bully's fault for calling you out pool. Just because something exists doesn't mean that's the sole cause of your pain. They're just taking something and mixing it in. It's like if I called Markeith Mickey Mouse or
let's
something
just stop
like
right
that.
there.
Like, I was trying not to go racial.
Yeah, I was like, wait, hold
but
up.
it's kind of like that.
Hold up now. Don't say some shit like, oh, he's probably like some Louis Armstrong motherfucker. I'm like, wait, what?
And okay, so let's also take this into consideration too. And Markeith, I'll ask you this: do you find any of the stereotypes, and the Boondocks like so offensive that like you want a character to be completely removed from that show?
So, I might bring race into this shit, but
I mean, I'm trying to bounce around it as much because I am a white dude, but
okay. So, in defense of the Boondocks, it's made by a black guy. But okay, now I feel as though with the Boondocks, there was like no stereotype. Well, again, it's mainly like tackling mostly black and white stereotypes. At least in a majority of the time, it's the black and white stereotypes. Mainly the white stereotypes, as like Ed and Rummy, for example, where they portray like white people that just wanna like embrace. I don't want to say, well, yeah,
yeah, like they want to embrace the black culture.
And
like that's very
embrace
common.
the black culture.
Yeah.
But like at the same time though, it's more in the fact that like what Aaron Magruder was doing was just basically just telling you this is basically how it is. It's not necessarily a stereotype in the way of, oh, this is fake. Nah, this shit is true. I know white people that love to sag and talk like they have no sense or so, like because that's how they assume all black people talk, but that's not really the case, my guy. Like, hate to break that to you, like I'm one of the examples. You don't see me walking around with a bulletproof vest saying yo shit's aight all the time. Okay, let me stop right there.
Yeah.
But overall though, yeah, that's at least like the white stereotypes and the black stereotypes that Aaron Magruder portrays is obvious. I think one episode in particular is like a nigga moment where niggas are how niggas act in the sense of fighting or so.
Yeah, and like, it's like what you said, like each of the characters in the Boondocks in itself is similar to the Simpsons, where they're each kind of a stereotype. Like Uncle Ruckus is obviously like an Uncle Tom. I'm blanking out on all their names because I haven't seen it in a while. Riley is the all
right.
I just totally blanked out.
So Riley is basically like the ghetto child. Huey is the woke child. Yep. Granddad is the stereotypical granddad who like has to care
who likes
for
white women, all that stuff.
Well, not necessarily that he doesn't like white women.
No, that he likes white women is what I'm saying, because he's always like.
Well, that's the thing. Like
at least in the earlier stuff.
Yeah, you can argue in the earlier stuff, but like in like second season on or so, like he has like expanded. Well, I don't want to necessarily expanded his taste because his wife was black at the time, before the show, but like not like I remember the third season he was like dating I forgot her name, but like the one black chick who was actually normal compared to all of his other relationships. And then he had a second season where he was dating the crazy black chick who was into karate. But overall though, I mean, Boondocks.
But you see where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
right? So like
Boondocks is one example.
it's
Then you also have like don't even get me fucking started on South Park. Like holy shit.
South Park. It's just it amazes me that not a lot of people attack South Park, because South Park is much, and I mean much, more offensive than The Simpsons ever is, ever probably will be.
Well,
And I'm surprised if they're not just like, oh, take out Tolkien.
well, in favor
It's literally a black kid named Token, because he's the token black
exactly.
character.
Well, in favor
Like,
of The Simpsons is more mainstream. The Simpsons like has like a bigger fan base. Not I don't want to say more of a cultish. Well, actually, yeah, more of a cultish fan base, I would say.
yeah, well, they have more. They're more engraved into pop culture than South Park, and that's just due to them being around longer, pretty much. I would say South Park is the much better show, but that's just my standards. I still like The Simpsons. But the whole point, so the documentary, like, they're just constantly well, I wouldn't say harassing. They ask the made voice lead of Apu to be in the documentary. And, you know, he keeps declining or whatever. And the filmmaker, I feel like he acts up a lot in front of camera. Because, like, when he gets the first rejected email, he's just, like, so angry. Like, you see him go off screen and punch a wall. I'm like,
wait, what?
Dude, all right.
Wait,
yeah, like, he's got this, like, tough guy persona or whatever. But, like, it's just all for show. Yeah, he's like, I didn't get the interview. And it's like,
wait, how the documentarian? How big are we talking here? What's his name?
What's his name? I'm sure I'm gonna have you.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, wait,
because I don't want to
have it up right now.
Into more
Harry
trouble.
Kondabolu, Kondabolu.
Yeah.
Bolu?
The thing is, he's a stand-up comedian too, and he should know as much as anyone that comedy is a reflection of life. So, like, if you say something's off limit, then we could say, well, this is off limit, this is off limit, and then it's never going to end. So taking our pool out it's not a good look. And I understand, you know, like, I'm never going to understand what it's like to be Indian American or South Asian. I'm not sure really what to say. But, you know, it makes fun of everyone. And, you know, you're all in the melting pot with us. So, you know, okay, so why is it okay that a black dude,
okay, tread lightly,
does a Japanese accent, aka Samurai Jack? Why is that okay, but a white dude playing Indian is not okay? Like, Samurai Jack is just full Japanese accent. So if one of it's okay, that means everything needs to be okay. Because then we're just going to micromanage each other, and then media is just never going to progress, essentially. And I think since this whole controversy, the voice actor, he's still in The Simpsons, but he has refrained from reprising his role.
It's Hank Azaria, so it's like, of course they're gonna keep him in. Yeah. He's like the main nigga.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just the documentary just paints Apu as this, like, Apu, even in the show, again, he's the smartest, but he's doing white girls. Like, he's been told by other white girls in the show, or Yellow, that, like, they're the best he's ever had or whatever and stuff like that. And the documentary points out that well, because we don't have a lot of Indian representation in media, that this is punching down. And it's like, okay, but at the same time, do you hear, like, Asians complaining about Asian stereotypes in The Simpsons and them punching down? Because I think Asian people, especially actors, and South Asian, Indian people, I'm really trying to not to sound ignorant, are, like, on the same playing field as, like, media, pretty much, within, like, how many roles they get and stuff like that. And, you know, it's like, if you just take out that character, then it's saying a lot if The Simpsons didn't make fun of Indian people. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, so they're just untouchable. Well, how come they're untouchable, but you make fun of Asians? Then it becomes that. So you have to include everyone in the melting pot, especially if you're something like The Simpsons. So that's just what I gotta say. I just think the documentary, well, he's just got a different perspective than me, than Apul, and obviously he's that ethnicity, so he's going to feel one way about it as opposed to me feeling another way about it. But that's just my kind of 2 cents. Check out the documentary for yourself. It's not, I'm not going to say that it's the worst. It's not the worst. It's like a Michael Moore movie, right? Like, some points you agree with and some points you don't. Michael Moore is obviously liberal. This one is obviously liberal. So, like, you're gonna, pick or choose what you agree with, what you disagree with. If you like the documentary and agree with everything he says, go right ahead. That's great. If you don't, I just want to give my 2 cents in, since I was a fan of The Simpsons and know the character fairly well. It's also in the documentary, Whoopi Goldberg is in it. And the reason why the documentarian goes to her is because she has I can't say the word, but she calls it something, but I'm not going to say it because it involves the N word. But she collects, like, Black American propaganda, like blackface stuff, as like a whole collection, like vintage, like racist comics, racist posters, like racist depictions of African Americans. And I just found that interesting that she actually, like, collect all that stuff. And this is where I got a little upset with the documentarian. He's like, oh, here's this Apu action figure. Do you want this in your collection? And at that point, as the interviewee, you're just like, I don't want it. You're filming right now. I don't want to say no. She's like, okay, I guess. And she laughs it off. But it's like, that doesn't, all right, Apu isn't blackface, okay? It's just simply not.
Yeah, I mean, compared to, let's see, about
Song of the South,
50, 100 plus years of white people, like, putting blackface on, showing them as jazz singers and mongrels and such, and then black people having to do the blackface just so they could blend in with the crowds. I don't see.
Yeah, it's night and day.
I don't see the connections at all.
No. Well, the thing is, those characteristics, especially in, like, the old WB Warner Brothers cartoons, like, they are stereotypes, but they're much, much more harsher. And then whereas Apu, they actually give him, they give him a character. They give him a character arc. They make him more humane. Like, it's an actual character behind it instead of, like the, blackface type stuff. But yeah, so I've been going on about this for 20 minutes. Let's skedaddle out.
Yeah. Granted,
Markeith, help! I'm drowning.
Overall, I haven't seen the documentary, nor am I a huge fan of The Simpsons. I rarely watch The Simpsons, so I really don't have, like, I can't give, like, a whole 10-page essay type response to this as you did. But yeah. Anyway, in other news,
sorry, I had to kill some bugs.
I caught a Instagram post that really piqued my attention a bit, and I think it would be a really good conversation starter. Well, not really that much, but I was just curious to see what other people may think or so. I already know, so it was like a battle between, like, comedy shows, and they're saying, like, okay, guys, like, who would, like, what do you guys think as, like, the better comedy show, The Office or Friends? And I'm looking at that shit and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's not even a competition.
It's not a
well, the white girls. Oh, is this a divide for white girls?
It might.
I think white girls are friends.
Okay, hold up.
All the way.
We can't just be talking about race and shit, and then we just go back to
I wasn't even. It's okay to make fun of white people, apparently, though. So whatever. We deserve it. It's fine.
And then I over here getting a fucking hate mail for it, and you'll be off scot clean.
Are you kidding me? I just went on a whole thing about I'll get the most hate mail out of anyone.
Look,
you're a gay black dude. Like, they can't touch you.
Yeah, you say that.
Except
and then
if
white
they're
people.
one of our professors who thinks women have suffered more than a black gay man.
It is
America.
I am glad we're doing this podcast after we graduated.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We would not. It doesn't even fucking matter if we're not saying their names. They know. Like, they know who we're talking.
Yeah. But Office.
Yeah,
it's so
obviously. Like, no, like, I remember I was talking to a friend about this, and I was just saying, like, okay. All right, I want to say that again because I just had like something talking it back.
Thank God.
So yeah, I was talking to a friend about this, and I was telling him like the deal breaker to this. Get a laugh, like take the laugh track off of Friends, and try bringing up that argument again. Like, that's all you have to do. And I've seen some videos of Friends without the laugh track. Diminishes it by plenty, by a lot. Hell, shit, I don't want to say the same too, but like, I like the other show too. But you can say the same. You can say the same for any show with a laugh track in it. Like, yeah, honestly,
like The Big Bang Theory. If it was actually a live studio audience, forget it. But okay, so for The Office, I can see the counter argument that like, oh, well, the later seasons are really bad. I'm like, Friends is just as equally like,
yeah, but
that whole subplot with Ross trying to marry Rachel, and it's just like, what are we doing, guys?
But even the later seasons of The Office is still like low, but in the standards of The Office,
right? Yeah.
Like it's just low,
especially the Jim and Pam stuff toward the end. I was just like,
yeah,
I wasn't a huge fan of it. They focus on that a lot during the later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact that Michael being gone from The Office and it's still being a fairly good comedy show speaks a lot to like the actual writing of the show being just so good,
right?
Like, because everyone thought that he was the crutch, but like, I think it's 2 or 3 more seasons after he left. I mean, it was still pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that concept. It kind of gets run down in the dirt, and then like it's like there's like, all right, what else do we do with it? Like, if you limit yourself to a certain like type of comedy, then eventually it's just going to dry out, and you're like, all right, we just need to let this go. And I think they let it go at the right time. I didn't feel like it overstayed the welcome too bad. No. Whereas Friends was just like, what if Ross was going to ask Rachel to marry him, but Joey accidentally picks up the ring, so now Rachel thinks that Joey wants to marry her, but really he doesn't. And it's just like, all right, guys, let's stop.
There was too much just fucking between the friend group. Like, my nigga, find some people outside of your friend group to fuck. Like, the fact that you are still like head over heels over the same bitch for 10 fucking seasons. That's 10 years. Too. That's 10 years. And y'all didn't make up your damn mind. It took you 3 marriages or so to be like, yo, maybe she's actually the one. No, yo, dude. Like, come on.
What that situation reminds me of?
What?
We won't talk too much about it, but one of our friends, the Simp Lord. Ross is a simp.
I will say this again. I am so glad we are doing this podcast after we graduated.
Yeah.
We're going to make a lot of fucking enemies.
As long as you're my friend Markeith, it don't matter.
It kind of matters.
Yeah, a little bit for connections and all that, but whatever, it's fine.
Like shit, we're not even famous yet. We're just shitting on people like low key.
Yeah, we have no right. We're talking about race in the second episode, like Jesus Christ.
But anyway, though, yes.
Don't take any of our shit seriously. By the way, we're just fucking around.
They say that as they're writing the fucking hate mail already. Like, see, this is why you should never have interracial podcasts. And I'm just like, wait, whoa. We never even. Well, slow down there, buddy. Like we're trying to like talk about race and shit.
Slow your roll. Oh boy. Why can't we be friends? What the fuck were we just talking about?
We were talking about Ross and his multiple marriages and how he is the ultimate simp lord.
God. And I know you're not as big a Game of Thrones fan, but for those who are, Jormont from Game of Thrones, Daenerys' like right hand dude, simp, biggest simp, doesn't get any in the entire series.
Isn't that the nigga that died in the last season and that just basically broke Daenerys?
Yes. Spoilers, Jesus, spoilers.
How long has it been out?
Only a year.
Really? I thought it was 2 years.
No, it's been only a year.
Okay, well, you know what? Who the fuck is listening to this? All right. No, okay. Okay, honestly, no. On top of that, too, like is the first people that's gonna hear this are the other film majors that we're part of. So it's like they're gonna listen to this. They probably already seen Game of Thrones. So it's like
I hope you would.
Yeah. So you know what? Fuck it. So whatever. I haven't seen it, and I already know what the fuck happens. Like, all right, Daenerys goes batshit crazy. She gets a dragon. She just says...
Which was not built up at all. All right, we're going to go on the Game of Thrones right now. Here we go. Final season,
character
Jesus
progress.
Christ.
Let me just burn up this whole ass town. And then Jon Snow is like, this wasn't it.
This is the bullshit that is season 8, right? So they literally should have done this. Season 8... White Walkers. Season 9, preparing for Cersei. Then season 10, you can make it 6 episodes or whatever. Just have it be an all-out battle or whatever. Season 8, this is where you establish more of the conflict between... So this is how I would structure it. Just all about the White Walkers. White Walkers coming, what the fuck are we gonna do, right? That's what you do. And you claim, you could do this, claim it as the final season so people actually think they might all die. But then be like, psych, right? So you just focus on the White Walkers, then you primarily focus on Jon being a Targaryen, aka the rightful heir to the throne, right? And then Dany, and then him telling Dany. Then there's a conflict of the 9th season. While they're preparing to fight Cersei, Daenerys is just slowly kind of going a little nuts. And you show that progressively throughout a season, not a single episode. Literally, it goes from day to night in a single episode. Like, there's all this season build-up. Daenerys is acting her usual self. Mind you, I'm not the big Daenerys fan. And then all of a sudden... She's just crazy. She's the Mad Queen, whatever. And I'm sure the books are going to do a better job because they're books. They're longer. You know, you get to see what the character's thinking, the whole thing, yada, yada, yada. But the writers didn't want to pass down, it to another group of writers. They're like, nah, this is our stuff. But at the same time, they were sick of writing for Game of Thrones. So they were just like, 6 episodes. Let's wrap the whole season was like, let's wrap this up. Come on. It's like, what about this plot line? Forget it. We're going to write Star Wars. After the season ends, they don't write for Star Wars. They're kicked off. They're like, fuck, shit, what do we do?
Like,
so now they're doing some H.P. Lovecraft show on Netflix, right? Then HBO comes out with the trailer called Lovecraft County, which is all about like H.P. Lovecraft monsters. So it's like you can't win because you were slacking. It should have been 10 seasons. You needed to have more time. And they just threw it all away. Again, I'm sorry, I've been talking a lot this episode. Markeith, go ahead.
I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, but I can understand the frustration when you hope for this one ending, but then you get another ending, and it is just far-sighted from the ending that you expected. Like, okay, there is a difference between an ending that you didn't expect but you enjoyed, than an ending just you didn't expect and you're just like, yo, what the fuck is this? Yo, just burn the whole fucking show down. Granted, again, I will say this again, I have not watched Game of Thrones. I have only seen the first episode and a couple of probably 3 or 4 episodes of the last season. Don't ask why it was like that. I actually know why was it like that.
You were just like, I don't want to watch all like 70 episodes. Fuck it, I'll just watch the last 3. Get the general gist of it.
No, I'm actually trying to figure out why was it. No, because I remember watching the first episode for a class assignment. Then I had to watch but then why the fuck did I watch the last season or like some of it? I think because my roommate was watching it. I think that was why. I was like, okay, why fuck it, why not? Let me see what's going on. And I just see his visceral reaction towards everything was happening. I'm just like, what happened? Why is she burning the town?
What happened?
Why is she?
Is that a new character? No.
Who is that? Who is that very, very pale white dude on the horse? Holy shit! Did she just stab him with a knife? Why do they all evaporate?
Pale boy. That I hate that stereotype. Like in all of fantasy, if anything, it's like if you kill the main dude, then everyone else dies. The only time I give that like leadway is Lord of the Rings because it created that trope. So like, all right, you get a pass. But like literally every other fantasy series is like, you killed the main dude. I guess the war's over.
Yo,
like I want to see a series where like the main dude dies within like the first season, and like the rest of the season is just dealing with like other commanders. Like it's kind of like, do you know the game Shadow of Mordor?
I heard of it, but I haven't played it.
So like it's essentially you play as, it's Lord of the Rings. You play as this dude, and like you can kill leaders of orcs, but then the next person down from them like gets higher in rank, and then now they're the new leader.
Okay, see.
So like it's not like you kill one of them and then like it's just like, oh, all of them are dead. It's like it keeps going because that's how it would work.
No, that's stupid. That's very fucking stupid. If you've ever played a mob or mafia style video game, or just any video game that just has like just like a corporation that you have to destroy, like any type of corporation, you have to start from the foundation up. Okay, like Godfather, Godfather 2, the Mafia games, or Mafia 3 is like one thing that's like very vivid in my mind right now for some reason.
Right. I think it's different for fantasy though.
No,
because
fuck that.
Fantasy is
no,
like
no. It's the same.
No. Because I see where it's going, but like, all right. Well, first off, that whole mechanic is like, they're not like the main like High Dark Lord or whatever, but they're like the ground troops. Like the ground troops would still carry out the work regardless of if the head dude
so
dies.
like you have to.
They're gonna be like, oh, he's dead. All right, I want to be in charge now. And then they have a whole fight, and then the last one standing wins, and it's like, all right, I'm in charge now. That's how that would work.
Okay, no.
Essentially.
So you have to take
for
out
a medieval point of view. That's how that would work.
All right.
Because it's like Game of Thrones, right? Like Robert dies. Does that mean everything goes back to normal? Nah, now you got Joffrey on the throne, and now he's a piece of shit as well. Okay, Joffrey dies. Now Tommen's on the throne, and while he's not evil, he's pious, meaning that he doesn't really he doesn't enforce anything, and the whole kingdom goes to shit. So like it's that kind of thing where it's like no matter what you do, someone either worse, and there could be someone better, but evil just doesn't disappear out of thin air. Like, you're still gonna have to fight evil.
Again, that's what you gotta do from the ground up. Now, I did have another analogy that I don't want to say unless I want to get targeted by the FBI or the NSA.
So you want me to clip it out?
No, just I'm just not gonna say it at all.
Can you text it to me when you're done?
No. Okay, I will. But okay, but just to put it in the so just to say this in the medieval type of term. Okay, so you have the king, then you have the person who's running up, then you have the person who's running up before him, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You start from the bottom, and then you kill the person on top of that who has to be the king from there. Then you have to kill the person on top who has to be the king from there. And then, okay, say you get to all of that. Now you're at the prince level. Now you have to get the prince. Then you have to get the princess. And then you have to get the other prince. And then you have to get the other princess. And then
okay,
like, it's a.
I see where you're going, but that's also like, so you're essentially saying killing a whole family, right?
Yeah, basically.
So
okay,
if you kill a whole family, you still have the wife's side, right?
And then so you just start from the bottom up at the wife's side.
But the let's say the wife's sister is also married to another guy from another family. And then once you kill all her lineup, he's like, "Oh, now I'm in charge."
Okay, and then
you have
you
to take
get
out
the
that entire
lineup.
family, and then you have to take out that entire family, and it goes on and on. There's no way.
Look here, the moral of the story is you're in a PTSD type bloodbath. Okay, and like, look here, do you want the king? Do you want the crown or not? Okay, you gotta do what you gotta do for the crown. All right. If you gotta kill like 5 bloodlines in a span of a year, then by all means do that. But
see, I don't like the good evil. That's why Game of Thrones is so good, because it's just full of great characters. Like Jaime Lannister, right? Like, first episode, he pushes a kid off a castle because he's having sex with his sister and cripples a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think cannot be redeemed. Throughout the whole season, he's essentially redeemed until the last season, but we won't get into that. No, it's literally just the last season, because he has one of the greatest scenes in Game of Thrones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's called the Kingslayer because he killed Aegon Targaryen, which is the Mad King, aka Daenerys' dad, right?
Yeah.
So he killed him by stabbing him in the back. So everyone calls him the Kingslayer because he literally stabbed him in the back, and that's like a cowardly way to go. And you think, okay, that makes sense, right?
Yep.
But then in this scene where he's in the bathtub, or like this sauna or whatever, with Brienne, he's like being like, the king told me to kill my own father. If your king said that, would you have done it? This is a person he loved, his father he loved. He's like, would you have done it? And he's like, he saw the whole kingdom pretty much go to shit because of this king. And he's like, if I kill this king, then things might be better. So then he kills the king, and ever since then, he's gotten a bad name because of how he killed the king. If he had done it in Glorious Battle, it would have been fine. But because he stabbed him in the back, that's why he's treated like this trash, and why in the beginning we see him as trash. But then as he keeps going further, we actually see he cares about people. Your first instinct is that he's this rich dude and he doesn't care about people, but he's constantly, saving people's lives, and he actually cares about people. Again, until season 8, when literally he's like, oh, you know how I progressed as a character and I didn't need my sister Cersei anymore? I'm just gonna go back to Cersei. And he goes back to Cersei and he dies under a bunch of rocks. That's the writer's fault. That's probably not gonna happen in the book. People have theorized that he actually kills Cersei to like stop her essentially becoming the Queen Slayer. That's just a theory. That would be cool if that plays out.
So would you argue? So is it safe? Okay, I'm not even argue. Or you could argue. Is it safe to claim that Jaime Lannister is a simp?
No, because he fucks other women.
But he
got over her like throughout most of. I mean, he's not as much as a simp. He has simp tendencies.
Some tendencies. Okay.
Simp tendencies. Whereas Jorah is literally just like, I must service my queen. I love you. And then Daenerys is like, I don't love you though. He's like, that's fine. Maybe I'll get my chance one day.
Wait, isn't
and
that
then he
nigga
just dies.
20 years older than her or something like that?
So, I think in the show, she's like 21 and he's something in his like early 40s or something.
Okay,
like
that's
that.
fucking nasty.
Where in the book it's more fucked up. Dany is 13 and he's like the same age, like 40 something, and it's like, oh boy. Oh, I mean, it was medieval times, but still. No, stop it. Please stop.
Yo, I'm just thinking about like,
imagine simping over a 13-year-old. Oof.
Yo, there needs to be a time where books and films just have to say fuck it. I am going verbatim with the book. Like I'm not trying to Hollywood it up or so. Like even like folk tales too. Like they just need to say fuck it. I need to like go this way. I need to tell what these weird ass motherfuckers were thinking in the first place. A good example, Pocahontas. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, so for the people that are susceptible to the Disney,
summarize the Disney movie. Yeah.
So for the Disney movie, Pocahontas, this nice 25-year-old is up with this dashing, handsome John Smith, who's also like the same age as her, and she could talk to trees and birds and all that magical shit, and they live happily ever after. Not exactly how it went. Nah, how it actually went was Pocahontas was a little girl.
Like, very little.
And John Smith was a old, ugly-ass motherfucker.
She actually said that in her diary, that he was, like, foul. Like, it's no joke.
And, yeah, they did some stuff.
Oh, boy.
So,
this is our most controversial podcast.
So I will
episode
challenge Hollywood to make a film about the real Pocahontas. You will get the chick that played Dora the Explorer in the live action movie.
Stop it. And you want to stop yourself right now, I think.
And you will get shit.
Markeith, don't keep going. Don't keep going.
Help me out here. Okay, who should play? Because I don't want to say Paul Giamatti, but
No, you get Steve Buscemi.
Okay, no. Okay. If Steve Buscemi is gonna play the role of the ugly ass John Smith, he needs to gain a few more pounds. He needs to gain.
Val Kilmer.
There you go. So the little girl that played Dora the Explorer with Val Kilmer as John.
I don't like this conversation.
Directed by Harvey Weinstein.
Stop.
Actually, no. My
He's
bad.
a producer, number
okay,
one.
My bad. Produced by Harvey Weinstein. Directed by Woody Allen. There you go.
What is wrong with you?
I challenge Hollywood to make this happen. Because I know for one thing, you won't have the balls to. Number two, the Me Too movement.
I wouldn't blame them not to have the balls to.
The Me Too movement might say, no, don't do this. This is despicable. But this is truth. This is truth that you must send. Like true artists. You can't blame me for this. You can't go against me on this one. This is true. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. There you go. Philosophy, magic, art. Make it happen. Pocahontas, starring that little Dora the Explorer girl and Steve Buscemi. Directed by Woody Allen.
I thought we said Val Kilmer.
Oh, my bad. And Val Kilmer. Directed by Woody Allen, produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Doing? He's probably eating bonbons. I have no idea.
I can tell you one thing though. Steven Seagal, on the other hand, that nigga,
He just does a bunch of kung fu.
he's doing kung fu, and every time he takes a break, he just gets like a Dunkin' Donuts box and eats the whole dozen boxes of donuts.
He eats the box. He eats the
Just
box.
eats the fucking box.
He doesn't even like open the box. He eats the box with the donuts in it.
He plays the box by Roddy Ricch in the background too, while he's eating the box.
Stop.
While he's
so
trapped
dumb.
in the box. While he's not wearing shoes in his house.
I just put a link in that box. Anyways, moving on. I'm watching Naruto again.
Konnichiwa, son. Oh wait, or is that Origato? Okay, I just realized this is very fucking racist without even mentioning the context of what I just said.
Yeah, so Markeith just quoted something from a very bad movie. It's a knockoff version of was that the Monsters vs. Aliens? No.
Yeah. Monster vs. Aliens. It's a knockoff.
Oh,
knockoff?
no, it was the Up one.
No, it was a knockoff
the
of
Up
both
one.
Monsters vs. Aliens and Up.
Okay.
It was a mixture of the two.
He was quoting that. Don't send hate mail to me. Don't send hate mail to him. But yeah, I'm watching Naruto again. I recently bought the Naruto Storm video games, so I kind of want to get back into Naruto. I heard a lot of good things about Tower of God though. Like Siku. By the way, Siku, as in yes, the famous YouTuber Siku Senpai. Please go. You like that plug? Please go subscribe to his channel. He does anime review, reactions, all that fun stuff. Great channel. Definitely check it out. Highly recommend it. He keeps saying Tower of God is pretty good, which I thought it wasn't going to be so good because Crunchyroll is helping with the production, and that was an automatic like turn off for me. But like apparently it's getting pretty high praise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But we'll
It's
go
not
back
going to
to
be
that
as hype
though.
as Vinland Saga.
Just out of curiosity though, for Naruto, did you notice anything like new now that you're rewatching it? Like does anything
Yeah,
that kind of caught your eye?
I actually did because one, I'm watching it subbed and it's better because Naruto is less of an annoying shit than he is in the dub. Because I had watched Naruto. This is probably my third time going through. The first time was just like catching it on Toonami when I was a kid, so like really I retained only a little bit of it. And then I watched it throughout. I would say in high school maybe, but I never went into Shippuden. I had dropped the series after that because it was just a lot of filler. And now I'm rewatching it.
And to anyone,
just trying to
that really wants to get into Shippuden, but without watching the whole thing, just play Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. You'll just get a gist of it.
That's literally what I'm doing. Yeah, it's just like I'm gonna be playing the video games to get the gist of pretty much the overall story. I still want to, watch it my own kind of pace. I've only watched like. I'm up to where they're doing the tournament or whatever, where you're first introduced to Rock Lee, dude in the green, broccoli. Sorry,
really,
in the green suit,
really,
or whatever.
Rob Lee.
I know. I'm sorry. He is like the best character though.
The best fucking ever.
In Naruto.
In Naruto, yo,
Hell
okay. Like, let me tell you something right now. If you really walking
you say
in,
Sasuke.
no. I'm putting in my defense statement for Rock Lee. So imagine you like the one nigga in the club, right? You in a club with like a bunch of famous ass rappers, and you yourself, on the other hand, you don't have no clout in your name or so, but you can hang with them. You got flows. You got flows that like equally that can be better than them. You have just fucking bars that are better than them and shit. And they're just like, what's going on? I've been practicing for a while or so. While this nigga, on the other hand, is just like he just has no power and shit. Well, guess what, nigga? That's basically Rock Lee. Got no. He flexing on niggas with taijutsu. Like
he's in that allegory. He's JPEG. He's literally JPEG or Denzel, whichever you wanna.
For God's sake, that yo. Like, you got niggas out here doing fireball jutsus and shit while this nigga just beating you, punching you in the face. He's just, like, kicking you in the fucking ribs. He is just...
Without using anything. He's just like...
Like, yo.
I also like... He's very funny and charismatic.
Mm-hmm.
I literally don't like... I think that's why I didn't want to follow Shippuden. Was because I kind of struggled. Because... I'm not a fan of Naruto. I'm not a fan of Sasuke, and I'm especially not a fan of the pink-haired bitch.
Oh, Sakura,
aka the female version of a simp. Like, it's hard to follow a series when all three main characters you're just like, why do I even care about you?
I mean, to be fair, like two out of the three, you could argue the third character, they're like. Or you can argue they're all Sims. I'm just saying 2 out of 3 are Sims. Because, Sakura is a Sim for Sasuke. Naruto is a Sim for Sasuke. And you can argue that Sasuke is a Sim for power. Or just...
He's a Sim for power.
Just a straight up Sim for, like... Because at first I'm thinking, like, yeah, okay, maybe it's Orochimaru. But no, he's just really just doing this to get to kill Itachi. But then he just goes like now he wants to be the Hokage. Actually, no, I think I skipped a few steps. But like the moral of the story is though Sasuke is just a simp for power because he just wants more and more and more, rather than just staying at like his nice cozy little leaf village with a white.
He winds up marrying
Sakura. He just winds up marrying the bitch that he tortured for how many arcs? Like what?
Like yeah, I liked the shy girl. She's one of my favorite
Hinata.
Characters. Yeah, she's awesome.
Took her a long ass time.
She's my queen.
Okay, if she didn't like muster up the strength to like ask Naruto out or so, or like Naruto like actually seeing for truly what Hinata is, she would have been like number 1 in the sim category just for the sole fact of like. Yo, like Naruto, I'll fight Pain for you. I'll fight him. Get the fuck out of here.
She's a successful simp, which is the difference.
Pain is way out of your league, my girl. Like, get out of here. I know you're trying to defend him, but no. Like, do you not see what he's doing to you? The nigga's not even using his hands at this point. He's using the force. He is just using the force, and I'm thinking like I'm pretty sure that's from another show. But like,
so you've seen all of Naruto, right? Or have you?
I've seen enough to know the gist of what is going on.
Right. Yeah, I'm literally I'm looking up online because apparently 41% of Naruto is like filler. So
yeah,
literally you could do this online. Just look up anime filler list and type in whatever anime and it shows you like, all right, all this is canon. You want to watch the canon stuff and the mixed canon stuff because they all kind of blend together. Filler, which is all the red stuff, you could just skip. And then actually toward the end of Naruto, like it's pretty much just like all filler. Like I was actually surprised by that. So like I'm still gonna watch some of those episodes just to see what they mean by that. But like, yeah, I mean overall I'm enjoying it, but it's kind of hard watching early 2000 anime as opposed to like Vinland Saga, just like animation quality wise, because Vinland Saga is like, yo, it's like I introduced Markeith to the show and I was like, dude, you gotta watch the whole thing, and he beat me to like watching the entire series. I'm like, you gotta watch this, and you're like, dude, and I'm like, wait, don't spoil it for me. You're like, how are you not caught up?
Exactly. Like you were the one that showed me the show, and I
was that during the time I was trying to catch up with My Hero.
No, I don't know what your problem was, but
I don't know.
All I know
I don't know what
was
my problem is.
that show was something else, and apparently I found out, or like I was like reading through like comments and video essays that's basically the peak in terms of like battling and such.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the next season is gonna be, well, apparently that's a prequel. Like Vinland Saga is a prequel to what is known as Farmland. Yes, get to see a older Thorfinn. Yeah, an older Thorfinn, was it like not using his weapons anymore and use it and just farming. So we might get some powerful dialogue, might get some powerful storytelling.
I mean,
Fight
the best
scenes?
part of Vinland Saga. I mean, I feel like the best part was I felt like they used the fighting very sparingly. Like it wasn't like every episode was a different fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a major fight. Um, and like I legitimately love all the characters, especially the main villain. Like he was Askeladd was just like, oh, I mean, you could call him. I call him a villain because essentially he killed Thorfinn's dad.
Yeah, that was
Thorkel?
just that was
Thor?
just
No, Thor's. Thor's.
Thorfinn. Well, he killed he wait
No, the dad's Thor's.
yeah,
Isn't he?
the dad is Thor's, and
There's too many Thors.
so you see you have Thorfinn, he's the lead. Then you have Thor's with Thorfinn's dad. Then you have Thorkel, who
Which is
is
best character.
Thorfinn's basically uncle, technically.
Technically, yeah.
Mhm.
He's the overly excited one to fight, right?
Right. Like
He's like the
he's
the Armstrong
a smoke
of
demon.
yeah, he's like Full Metal Alchemist Armstrong, that kind of character.
Yeah.
Basically. God, I want to see if my girlfriend would be into Full Metal Alchemist.
Probably not.
Probably not, but yeah.
But-
I mean, it's kind of got that Game of Thronesy type drama. I tried to get her into Cowboy Bebop. She just was not budging.
Yeah, well, what?
It's like every time she falls asleep, like during a show or something. Like, okay, so this is, and she's probably gonna hear this. I've had this complaint before, so I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't care. So she, well, I'll be like, oh, do you want to watch this like romantic movie or whatever? Or I messed that up. Hold up. So I'll pass by on like Hulu or something, like let's say 27 Dresses. And she'll go, ooh, I want to watch that. And I'm like, oh yeah, you want me to put it on? And she's very like, she's like, I don't know, whatever you want. I'm like, nah, I'll do it for you, babe, whatever. So I put it on, and then like 5 minutes in, she falls asleep, and I'm sitting here watching 27 Dresses all by myself. Like, that's not okay. So now what I do is every time she falls asleep, I don't want to wake her up or anything, so I just grab the remote and just turn it to Cowboy Bebop or whatever I want to watch.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I blanked out.
That's the move, gentlemen. That's the move.
I blanked out for a bit, and it sounded like you said, like, I just put on a dress for her, and then she's kind of like 5 minutes later, she just slept. So
I was like, I put on my prom dress just for you. I don't understand why you don't love me anymore.
it was like,
No,
damn.
she's great though. I don't want to say her name because I don't know if she's okay with that. We're an anonymous. We don't expose no one.
well, not yet.
Oh wow, we are at like a minute 20 or minute 18. Holy shit.
Hour 18.
We should probably wrap this up. I didn't even notice. Holy shit.
Well, that's the glory of talking a lot.
I talked a lot. Yeah. To be fair, you went on a whole Uncharted rant last.
It wasn't even that big of a rant. But look here.
Not as big as mine.
Am I wrong, though? Am I wrong? That's all I gotta say.
You're not.
That nigga's not human. Okay?
It's a video game.
Alright, whatever. Fine. Just fine. It's a video game.
Don't. I swear to God, we're a married couple. Fine, it's fine. No, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I said it's fine. I don't want to talk about it.
Look here, man. Like, fuck it. It's a video game. He gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. He gets to get shot in the gut.
See, you're arguing just like a wife right now. You're just like, I don't care. You could go out to the bar. I don't care. I just cook all fucking day, you know? It's just like, no, I love your cooking. And it's like, all right, just go hang out with your friends, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm not your friend.
Probably have shit cooking, though. So, like, I'm just going to just stop it right there.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So let's do our plugins. All right. I'm Sinister Sheep. This is my channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to think up of video ideas. I've been been focusing on school a lot more, but now that school's almost over, I'm graduating. Whoop whoop.
We are
hopefully
graduating.
I have more time to.
Selfish prick.
I'm trying to close out the podcast. You did this last time, and we went on a whole another 10-minute rant.
Proceed.
Oh boy. Totally made me. So I'm graduating. Hopefully I'll be posting to this channel a lot more. I think I think it's pretty safe to assume that we're gonna do a podcast every week. My internet's just very slow, so it's just gonna have to. You're just gonna have to bear with me.
By all means, tell everyone about your first world problems.
We're making a podcast on YouTube. Of course, this is a first world problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure to like, subscribe, and actually comment down below. I don't blame you if you didn't see it in the descriptions or whatever, but in the last podcast, I left a description. If you want to ask any questions on the podcast, number one, we're going to have to answer them. That's my number one rule. We have to answer them. Whether it's truthful or not, gray area there, but we absolutely have to answer them. So if you want to say something like, can I say the N-word?
No.
You can ask that. Just actually...
I already answered that for you. No.
One of our closest friends, who I'll tell you later, actually said, can I ask that on the podcast? I'm like, if you comment it.
Wait, who?
I'm not going to expose him right now. I'm trying to do the closer. Holy shit.
Fucking close it.
All right. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, make sure you check out my good friend Siku. His channel is Siku Senpai. He does reviews, reaction videos to multiple anime series and stuff like that. He's a really good content creator. Make sure you check him out. Although I need more of the clout than he does, but still. And Markeith, would you like to plug in your things?
I make music. I'm on all streaming services. Markeith Black. Check it.
Streaming services meaning Spotify and
Apple Music, Tidal, all the streaming services. If I'm acting nonchalant about this, it's only the sole fact that this ending has been taking very long right now. So yes.
All right. Well, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
make sure.
All right, guys. This is stop. I'm trying to. I literally hit my own head. I hit my own head in anger because I could have hit you. I literally went, "Stop it! Stop!" Like it's a voice in my head. Anyways. This has been Sheep and Friends podcast, episode 2. We will see you guys next week. Take care.
Mm-hmm.